Well, hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome on in. Let's start with some Sacred Destiny Oracle cards and see where Spirit takes the reading. So to begin for this daily energy, what do we have, Spirit? Some of you feel a bit stuck. It's like things are moving, things are changing, even in ways that you're not aware of in the certain in that specific moment, or in general. But you feel a bit stuck, and so there's going to be somewhat of a focus on that. But then they're saying that you need to be focusing as well on relaxation. You know, if the day period, maybe even surrounding it, involves busy time, you know, busy work and whatnot, because I guarantee for a lot of you it does or will. It's as if you're needing to rewire yourself or retrain yourself, adjust here and there to be more relaxed in the midst of being busy, right? It's as if we're healing you from the past while doing so, in certain ways unexpectedly, you know. I'm getting the phrase healing chaos. And so when you start to find that relaxation is key for you, regardless of what you are or aren't wrapped up with or doing, applying yourself towards, I wouldn't be surprised, because it just seems to be a huge, huge focus. Now, when you end up relaxing a bit more, Spirit's saying your solitude will come to mind, even if you're wrapped up with other people somehow. And I feel they're saying this needs to be different. You know, if you've been frozen in time at certain points, interesting way of putting it, you know, when you're alone, that needs to change. We need to maybe find certain activities or tasks, ways to get us moving and grooving and being less frozen. As some of you have found that you have been maybe spending too much time in solitude, say where you're living, or another spot in your the place you reside, where it doesn't hold the energy that's helping you actually heal or become who you're meant to be, then that's where your solitude, at least partially, if not fully, needs to change. And it's like you spend a bit of time in your own energy, right? Interesting. Some of you may find that you don't normally because you're an empath or, you know, just very spiritual. But you find yourself in a moment where, again, even if there are certain people around you or that you have to connect with, work with, whatever, it's as if you're more to yourself in certain ways, and this is being noticed by other people, and absolutely being noticed by you. But it's this moment, or if not several, where you're keeping to yourself a bit more, and you start to think about a voyage of importance in the future. And some of you want to make this traveling opportunity of some sort, whether it's to move to somewhere new or to travel, to get out there and explore the world more. You're wanting it to happen sooner rather than later, and it's completely relatable and understandable, you know. But it's this feeling of Spirit saying, we're not going to send you on this trip or this move of residence. Maybe it's more in regards to a shift in career. We're not going to send you on this towards this opportunity or within it, where again things need to heal, where they could disturb things otherwise. All right, so please just trust the process, trust in the timing. It is a lot easier said than done. But then, you know, when you decide to buckle down and be diligent, when you discipline yourself, when you actually want to apply some sort of effort or efforts to get things accomplished, to maybe switch things up, okay, or just, you know, get ahead, you then find enlightenment becomes yours for the gaining. You then feel like Spirit saying, we didn't have everything to do with that. You know, you're a source of enlightenment for yourself and for other people. And so I feel there's a huge focus more on how you're able to bring yourself this enlightenment, this new maybe set of awareness. I'm getting the word illumination. And you just feel more in the knowing. You feel a bit more crystal clear at this time as well. And that's important. It's to say that you at times rely on, say, a supplement or for somebody, ADHD medication to kind of snap you out of the funk or the off energy, or just, you know, get you out of a fog. And yeah, sure, at times certain things like that will help. But it's about knowing yourself best and kind of knowing that a lot of you can actually do this. This is very specifically powerful. You can take yourself in a current foggy kind of state of being and viewing things, and you can literally say, I'm choosing to hop out of it. And I know that sounds wild and almost impossible, but you'll surprise yourself when you actually give it a go. And so, we'll put all those cards back because they gave me, I want to say, close to 10. But let's hop on forward to the tarot portion of the reading. It's like your mind and your emotional state or your soul are not connecting and getting on the right page with each other. It's to say, for example, a lot of you, again, want to fast track, move forward, get things to a different state of being because things aren't 100% satisfying. Maybe, bad energy has to do with it. But anyways, it just feels like, and for some of you, all that's on your plate has to do with it. And so things will be changing moving forward, because of this. But to go back to what I was saying with your heart, interesting, your mind and your soul is what it was specifically. It's like you mentally know logically that it's not the right time. You're mentally even being reminded of this by spirit quite often in different ways. But then your soul knows where it's meant to be at the end of the day, whether you realize this or not, whether you remember this or not. Your soul wants to be elsewhere. Your soul wants to, again, fast track and fast forward. But then they're saying, in this case, your soul needs to heal. We spoke about this in the last daily reading. And so when your soul needs to heal from all that life has put you through, and this happens a bit unexpectedly, just know that it's helping your soul and your mind kind of work better together and be on the more logical page at this point, so you can then buckle down and, make certain changes. And I mean, I can say that on this channel and these daily readings over and over and over again, but it seems to be a period where you're the one choosing to say, this needs to change. And it could be multiple things, but it's spirit saying, well, we're doing our job and we're helping you get to this point, because it's one of those things where spirit can choose for you. Other people in your life, regardless of who they are, can choose for you to make certain changes. But if you don't actually choose it for yourself, even maybe after other people help you initiate the change, it's not going to stick most likely, And so it's this sort of free-minded way about some of you, interesting, where it almost doesn't make sense in regards to the logical message that came through before. But anyways, it just feels like you're needing to remember that literally everything's happening as it's meant to. It doesn't feel like it. I get it. The Knight of Pentacles coming out as well, because they're saying part of where you went wrong in the past, and this could date further back for a lot of you, say further back chapters, you rushed, you made things too, boom, 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 or you just felt like you had to get everything done. It's very interesting because I was reminded of this morning where Spirit was saying things are changing for you and you're not in your 20s anymore. Like, sorry to remind you of this. I just heard we're not sorry. But they would remind me, or reminding me of the fact that I would go from waking up and I would get my day started, and it was like, I can do all 5 of my loads of laundry for the week, before I go in for a 14, 15 hour double, and then, start all over again like it didn't negatively affect me. And they're saying, first of all, it did negatively affect you, and if this doesn't feel applicable, then please don't make it fit. But, nowadays they're saying, quite literally, slow and steady wins the race. And when it feels like you literally can't do things quicker than you are, they're saying, good. People will get over it if they have an issue with it or if they want to judge it. But it's just this kind of, I'm focusing on what I'm doing while actually doing it, instead of just kind of trying to speed through it all out of, because of expectations, including your own, because of the way things once were. It's like at certain points, I feel a lot of you experience certain bad habits or old ways of doing things, and it could have been, like we were saying, being too rushed with everything, or some things. It's like that kind of pops back up. It reminds me at certain points, I didn't grow up in California, and that stuff doesn't just completely change overnight. You're wired in certain ways, right? And so I feel like you're learning a lot about yourself. You're learning a lot about who you are meant to become in the future, preferably after you go through some important healing and whatnot. But the Chariot card, Justice, and the Ace of Wands, you will be feeling like it's now time to actually win. And this energy will feel delicate. It will feel easier, right? It's a sense of spirit saying you deserve the justice. So let's start to work towards acquiring that. You might even taste a bit of it throughout this day. You know, you deserve to begin again, and we're going to help you properly, strategically, and successfully get to that point. But in a way, this day period feels like it's a new beginning for you because the energy's fresher. Things are effing with you less, you know. You maybe need to stop and notice this at certain points, and that could benefit you in a lot of beautiful ways. You know, once again, it could help you rebalance, slow it down. But then the Chariot card is saying that you're actually wanting to put in the work, and then they're saying, good, let's make sure we're doing it in the right ways, you know, and that effort, that work, it doesn't have to obviously be a job or a business or anything of the sort, but, you know, it's about you maybe wanting to clean up your life in certain ways. It's about you saying that what has come to be, it came to be, you know. I can't change the past, but I can use it to my advantage now. You know, I can use where I'm still currently, you know, to be honest with myself, going about things the wrong way, and now I can adjust, right? I can put my motivation to work and gain justice and utilize this fresh energy. You can create more of it, and it just feels like you're going to subtly feel like your passion is coming back to be. But I'm going to leave our daily reading at that. I hope it was truly helpful. I am sending you so much love and light. Take care.